The eye of the hurricane. That's how George Mumford describes mindfulness. That's how he teaches meditation. George Mumford is, for those of you that don't know, in my opinion, one of the top authorities in the world, one of the top authorities in terms of applying mindfulness practice, not only to athletics, but to people that are seeking high performance and to people that are seeking pain, to get out of pain. He's worked with people in jail. He's worked with NBA players like Kobe, like the Chicago Bulls, Phil Jackson, multiple NBA championship teams. He's an expert, and I really love how private, I'm taking my shoes off here. We just got some rain. The eye of the hurricane. I really respect how he tends to keep his relationships with people private, his professional relationships, his athlete relationships. But anyways, when he talks about meditation and mindfulness, this is something that we can all use, we can all take. He teaches that there's a area between stimulus and response. Whether you've never meditated, whether you have practiced meditation, whether you're aware of mindfulness, whether you're familiar with it, whether you practice it yourself, this is a great lesson to learn. There's an area between stimulus and response. So in terms of athletics, in the field of athletics, which most of my audience is in the field of athletics, stimulus is something that you see, something that you hear, something that you feel. You could smell it or you could taste it, but those are, very, very minimal impact compared to see, hear, and feel. So you have these stimuluses, and then you have a response to the stimulus. So in terms of the eye of the hurricane, right? I wanted to do this video, it just rained, running bare feet out here. This is one of my favorite things to do recently, especially after it rains, when the grass is nice and soft, the ground's soft, the ground is wet. So good for your feet to just spread out and just breathe and to just strengthen and to do so many good things. But I wanted to share this video with you guys quick. The eye of the hurricane, right? And you have the stimulus and response. You have choice, you have control. You can't control the stimulus. We can't control the things that we see, that we hear, that we feel. We can't control if someone's pissing us off, right? Or if someone makes us upset, or if we made a bad play in our sport, or if, we just lost the game, or if we just fucked something up in practice, or someone in our team did something and it made us mad, our coach did something and made us mad. There's tons of stimulus. As you see someone that messed up, you see yourself mess up. We have a certain response to that. There is this area between stimulus and response that we get to choose, that we have choice. And I love George Mumford for this. He doesn't necessarily teach it like this, but this is the way I see it. When you tell yourself that you have no choice between stimulus and response, you're a victim. And you'll never get out of the cycle. I've been a victim myself in many different situations. As long as you're giving someone else control, you'll never get out of whatever spiral that you're in. Anxiety, nerves, fear, doubt. If you're continuing, sometimes you might get out of it if you give someone else the control. Sometimes, because if they do something right, then you feel correct. Or if something just falls into place, then you feel good. But if something doesn't happen and it causes you to be upset, to be nervous, to be frustrated, you'll never get out of the spiral. You have a choice. And I love George Mumford says you have a choice between stimulus and response. And this eye of the hurricane, right? So tying it back to mindfulness, to meditation. So first of all, let's clear it up. Meditation, mindfulness are not the same thing. They're closely related. Mindfulness is an awareness of being present, an awareness of what's going on right now, an awareness of be here now, for lack of better terms. Meditation is an actual practice that can help you with your mindfulness. Sitting down, there's tons of different forms of meditation. If you're looking for some good resources, obviously YouTube, there's some good videos out there. There's not some pretty bad videos out there on meditation, guided meditations. The best place to start, in my opinion, is the Headspace app. Andy Puticombe wrote a book, Meditation and Mindfulness, if you guys are into reading. They have the app. There's a paid version. There's a free version. They have a lot of good information, articles and videos online. So definitely check that out if you want to deepen your meditation practice. But tying this all back into performance, into the field of performance, in the eye of the hurricane, there's shit going on all of the time in your sport, right? There's things around you that we cannot control. People, what people are doing, the places that we're at, maybe the field's messed up. I'm on a wet field. I could easily get angered by messing up because the field's wet or the field's not in good shape or the court's not in good shape. There's, travel that you have to associate. You could always have an excuse. Oh, I'm tired. Oh, I'm traveling. Oh, I'm not in my same routine. I'm not sleeping in the same bed. I'm not, in the same weight room. I'm not in the same training field. So there's always areas there. There's things that we could place blame on. Equipment, clothes, there's activities, things with relationships on and off the field of performance. There are tons of different areas to derail us. There's tons of things going on the outside of the hurricane. The eye of the hurricane is where you have this chance to choose. You have the choice between this stimulus and response. And this practice of mindfulness is allowing you to be here now. So having a mindful practice or mindful conditioning of your mind can all of a sudden bring you back to better focus, better concentration, better awareness, better presence, better control. So it all starts with an awareness of breathing and feeling your breath and feeling your body and feeling your feet touching the ground as I'm walking here, or your hand on the ball or the equipment that you're using, or, whatever that you're seeing in the moment, actually paying attention to it and not trying to respond to it too quick, not trying to interpret it too quick, not trying to force what it means too quickly, just letting it be what it actually is. Without any force, without any overthinking, without any emotional reaction to it, just letting it be what it is. And that's a simple thing to say, but a very, very difficult thing to do. And it all starts out here, where I'm at. Nobody's around. So just like athletes practice the skill aspect of their sport, just like they practice getting stronger, getting quicker, getting in better shape, improving their nutrition, improving their sleep, always looking for an edge, always improving. This practice of mindfulness is the same exact thing. You can't just expect to learn mindfulness and all of a sudden you go into a competition and you're mindful and it's like you can zone in. It's a practice that starts when nobody's around. Because it doesn't matter who's looking or not looking. It's a practice that starts on your own. It's a practice that starts by you actually experiencing it. In the field of sports psychology, there are a lot of good theories. There's a lot of good theories. There's a lot of good research. There's a lot of good data. At the same time, a lot of that theory isn't always practical. But this practice of meditation and mindfulness goes back thousands and thousands of years to the yogis, to, the Zen Buddhists, to people in ancient China, to people in ancient India, to the Tibetans, so on and so forth. And just recently, they started to put science to it. People always challenge something unless there's science to it, to breathing and, all the effects of meditation and mindfulness on your brain and on your emotions. They finally are putting science to it. Measuring brain EKG, EEG, brain body waves, hormonal levels, stress, blood oxygen levels, so many different things. They're starting to actually hook up, to machines and put science and validation, verification on some of these techniques that have been around for thousands of years. And it's a weapon. The athletes that get in early on it, the athletes that understand it early and practice it early, not necessarily early in terms of how young or old they start, but in terms of when they start to actually take their sport seriously. Because if you do it just as something to check off the to-do list, you know, you start at an early age and you check it off. Oh, I've been doing this since I've been 10 years old. Just to check it off, it doesn't work as well as the athlete, the person that actually is connected to it with their heart. Not only with their head, the to-do list, but with their heart and their emotions. And it's something that they connect, you know, on a spiritual level too. So on a mental, emotional, physical, spiritual level, they connect to all four of those things. Then it starts to be more of a complete practice and more of a beneficial practice. So my suggestion to you is just start some sort of mindfulness practice. When you get to the field and you start to warm up, just take 60 seconds. Set a timer on your phone. Just set a timer for 60 seconds and just try to be present. It starts with your breath. It starts with your breathing. Actually witnessing your breath. You know, we have 23,000 breaths a day, and we pay attention to nearly 0 of them. Start by paying attention to your breath, to the blood or the air going in through your nose, through your mouth, into your chest, into your diaphragm, into your lungs, into your belly, and just feel the breath coming in and coming out. My recommendation is start in through your nose and out through your mouth, exhaling longer than you inhale, and just start to feel the breath. And as you feel the breath, start paying attention to specific areas of your body. That's a great way to start a mindfulness practice, is just be aware of where you're sitting. Be aware of the grass touching your feet or touching your hands. Be aware of your feet on the ground. Be aware of where you're sitting. Be aware of your hands. Because once you start to be specific with where your awareness goes, then all of a sudden you become more mindful of it. If I said, focus on your right foot right now, okay, all of a sudden your attention, your energy goes to that right foot. But without me saying it, you know your right foot's there. You know your right foot is attached to your body. It's on the ground, wherever it's at. But you're not paying attention to it, because we can only pay attention to so many things. So it's about being present. It's about being here now. So if you found this video useful, if you found this video valuable, appreciate it if you hit that thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. And start your mindfulness practice. Just start. Don't expect to turn it on when the game starts. Don't expect to turn it on, when all of a sudden you have a big competition. Start in practice. Start out here when nobody's looking. Nobody's around. Nobody's paying attention except for you. You're the only one that can see yourself 100% of the time. Inside and out. Your internal dialogue, your external dialogue. Your internal pictures, your external pictures. So anyways, appreciate you guys. We'll see you on the next video.